There's a moment in life when you stand on the edge, teetering between choices that can define your future. These moments don't come with fanfare or flashing lights. They creep up on you in the stillness of routine or the chaos of decision-making. And here's the thing. Those choices, they ripple. One decision sets off a chain of events that can either build or destroy the world around you. You may think it's a small choice now, but the consequences grow like a storm on the horizon, unseen until it's too late to change course. The smart ones, the ones who seem untouchable, know this. They don't make decisions for today. They think 10 steps ahead. They know that the ground beneath them is constantly shifting, and every action sends tremors through time, altering what could be. Take a breath. Feel the weight of those moments, the crossroads in your own life. The decision to stay at that dead-end job or quit. The choice between confronting that person who disrespects you or letting it slide. Each choice is the beginning of something bigger. It's like standing at the shore, throwing a stone into the ocean. You don't see the ripples spreading immediately, but they're there, growing, expanding, touching shores you haven't even thought about yet. This video is going to be your wake-up call. The ancient masters knew about this ripple effect. They built empires with it, and some let their kingdoms collapse when they stopped thinking beyond their immediate desires. Men like Hammurabi, Sargon of Akkad, and Enheduanna didn't just make decisions. They calculated every move with precision, knowing it would echo across generations. And if you think this doesn't apply to you, think again. The ripple effect is not just for emperors and kings. It's for anyone who wants to shape their future instead of watching it unravel. Hammurabi wasn't just some king sitting on a throne, barking orders. He saw the chaos around him, the petty disputes, the unchecked violence, the fragile alliances, and he knew that if he didn't bring order, Babylon would burn from the inside out. He stood at a crossroads, and he made a choice that would ripple not just through his own empire, but through centuries of human history. He could have ruled with force. He could have used his power to crush any resistance and silence his enemies, but that would have only lasted as long as his strength. Instead, he crafted the Code of Hammurabi, a set of laws so detailed and so forward-thinking that it created a foundation of justice and order, not just for Babylon, but for civilizations that came after. His code wasn't about him, it was about the future. He saw that power built on fear crumbles, but power built on law endures. Can you feel the weight of that decision? Not just on him, but on the entire society he ruled. It's like the difference between building a house on sand and carving it into the rock. A man who rules through brute force is like the house on sand. One storm, and it's gone. But Hammurabi's laws were carved into the rock. They were permanent, unyielding, outliving him by centuries. It was a decision that rippled through time, shaping how people thought about justice, about fairness. It touched everything, from how people traded goods to how they settled disputes. His choice shaped the very concept of law, a ripple still felt in today's legal systems. Now imagine standing in Sargon's shoes, looking at a Mesopotamian world fractured into independent city-states, each one clinging to its own power, each one a potential rival. The easy choice would have been to fall in line, to play the game like every other ruler before him. But that's not how empires are built. The real players, those who change the course of history, they don't follow the rules. They break them. Sargon made a move no one expected. He didn't just conquer one city-state and stop. He united them all. He took the chaos and turned it into the first true empire. His decision wasn't about controlling one city, it was about controlling a future. By uniting Mesopotamia, Sargon didn't just create the Akkadian Empire, he created the idea of empire itself. And that ripple, it set off a chain reaction that shaped the next 1,000 years of history. His choice to think beyond the immediate, to see 10 steps ahead, didn't just change his life. It changed the course of civilization. Feel the power in that moment. The audacity it took to think so far beyond the present. It's like standing at the edge of a cliff, knowing that one leap could take you to heights no one else can reach. But that hesitation will keep you grounded forever. Sargon didn't hesitate. He knew the risks, but he also knew the reward. An empire that would stretch from the Persian Gulf to the Mediterranean Sea. His decision sent ripples through time, shaping how nations formed, how they grew, and how they ruled. It's a ripple effect still seen today in how modern governments manage diversity, geography, and power. Then there's Enheduanna, daughter of Sargon. She wasn't a warrior on the battlefield, but don't mistake her for weak. She stood at the crossroads of religion and politics, a woman in a world ruled by men. Her choice wasn't about wielding a sword, it was about wielding influence. She could have played it safe, stuck to tradition, and let the gods of Sumer and Akkad remain separate. But instead, she made a choice that sent ripples through not just the religious world, but the cultural and political worlds as well. She merged the Sumerian and Akkadian gods into one cohesive belief system, using her poetry and hymns to bridge the gap between two cultures. It wasn't just about religion, it was about unity. It was about creating a shared identity for an empire that was as diverse as it was powerful. Her decision wasn't a small one. It was a calculated move that shaped the empire her father had built, giving it spiritual and cultural cohesion. Can you see the impact of that decision? It's like weaving two different fabrics together, creating something stronger and more durable than either one alone. That's what Enheduanna did with religion. She took the separate threads of two cultures and wove them into a tapestry that held the empire together. The ripple effect of her choice can still be felt today in how we think about identity, about unity and diversity. Her hymns and poems weren't just words. They were a foundation that supported an empire. Now take a moment and think about your own life. You're standing at a crossroads right now, whether you realize it or not. Maybe it's a decision about your career. Maybe it's about a relationship. Maybe it's something as simple as deciding whether to take that risk or stay in your comfort zone. But here's the thing. Whatever choice you make today, it's going to ripple. It's going to shape not just your tomorrow, but the next year, the next decade. And the impact will reach beyond you. It'll touch your family, your friends, your community. Every decision is a stone dropped into a pond, and the ripples are going to spread. But are you dropping stones that will build something lasting, or are you just reacting to the chaos around you? The men we've talked about didn't just react. They acted. They saw 10 steps ahead. They knew that every decision they made wasn't just about them. It was about the world they were shaping. It's time to start thinking like them. Stop making choices that only serve you today. Start thinking about the ripple effect. Every decision, every move you make is going to send ripples through your life and the lives of those around you. You can't stop the ripples, but you can choose what kind of waves you're creating. Smart men, those who truly make an impact, know this. They don't just live for today. They live for tomorrow, for next year, for 10 years down the road. They think about the ripples their decisions will create, and they make choices that build something lasting, something strong. That's the difference between men who change the world and men who get swept away by it. The ripple effect is real. It's powerful. And if you can master it, if you can start thinking 10 steps ahead at every crossroad, you'll not just be shaping your future, you'll be shaping the world around you. The only question is, what kind of ripples are you going to create?